Network Entertainment.
Hello everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Kaya Pa Ba? And I know I'm usually very serious about the episodes because we try to get into the TED Talks and the Oprah of it all. But kinikilig po ako right now. Yun lang po. Gusto ko lang po sabihin na kinikilig ako ngayon sa kasama ko sa interview because I have Asia's Phoenix, the one and only Morissette Amon is here.
Hello po! Hi, everybody!
So, welcome to Kaya Pa Ba?
Thank you so much.
I know, I was just telling you about this earlier, pero yung iconic song mo na gusto ko nang bumitaw,
Opo.
para siyang long lost twin ng aking show na Kaya Pa
It's
Ba?
connected.
It is connecting. It is
Opo.
giving cinematic parallels.
Let's go!
Diba?
Multiverse!
Multiverse ang atake natin.
Opo.
But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me
Very
po.
excited to do this. Sige, simulan ko na.
Sige
Okay,
po.
so before I do my first question, so this is like a side comment first. I have been a Morissette fan, The Voice
Let's go!
pa lang. As in, nandun ako sa Resorts World Manila noong September 2013 when you sang What About Love.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my God.
With the lion hair na.
Grabe. As in, sobrang spontaneous nung pag-standing ovation ko after you sang your last note. I was like, crown her already!
Ah!
And I just checked the video. It has over 9 million views now.
That's crazy. I
Sobrang
have not visited that video in
crazy.
so long.
So guys, sorry. As in, I was Team Morissette pa lang
Oh, thank
that
you.
time. As in, grabe yung drama nun. You didn't have to serve it that way.
Wow.
Especially the last 10 seconds of that performance. Tinaas mo pa. Basta, ayoko na siyang gawin dito kasi usually dog show lang ako ng mga singing. Pero may
Grabe
katabi
mo.
po kasi ako talagang actual vocalist. But that performance, I was like, just the level of skill, excellence, poise, grace,
Wow.
stage presence
Oh,
that
thank you.
time. I was like, that is my kind of girl.
Nice!
Ayun lang.
Let's go!
You know, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Because baka sabihin nyo lang, oh my God, bakit? Sobrang fan po ako talaga malali.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So
Thank you
now,
po.
natapos na tayo sa ating meet and greet. Okay? Mag-interview na po tayo ngayon. So, the first question I always ask my guests is, kamusta ka today? Answer that however you feel like answering it.
I am doing good. Also, syempre, I am right now yung headspace ko lang talaga is just working on the concert because I think out of all the shows I've done in the past, ito talaga yung pinaka tutok ako. I'm actually really also producing this. Like a lot of the concepts are coming from yung mga brain cells ko po talaga. And so very tutok po ako. But I'm very, very excited. Honestly, ultimately, I mean, I'm feeling many things, but I'm just very, very excited na mangyayari na tong concert na to. Especially since I've just dreamed about this for so long na po talaga. And so, ito na siya.
I love
Other
it.
than that, I'm great. I'm great.
We will get to hear about Morissette, the producer, later. So sa bandang
Oo.
dulo yun, syempre dapat sa dulo pinopromote, di ba? Mamaya lang, sandali lang. I mean, I guess I have to talk about the song Gusto Ko Nang Bumitaw.
Yes.
I mean, it is, I think, what kids call a cultural reset. It is now a
Really?
meme. It is a state of mind. It is a mantra. It is a life choice.
It is a lecture.
You've only sang this particular song a handful of times,
Yes,
right?
I can count with my two hands.
Oh.
I rarely sing this song just because ang hirap lang po talaga niya.
Oo.
And I've shared this also with a lot of my fans and even si Kuya Jonathan, who is, Jonathan Manalo is
Yes.
the producer of the song. Nasasabi ko talaga, Kuya, hindi ko talaga siya kayang all the time. Kasi alam mo naman, hindi lang siya, emotionally also, it
Yeah.
takes a toll, of course. It's a
Yes.
very, it's a very heavy song. But also, syempre, yung singing niya talaga, naku
Yeah.
po, di kaya pag dire-diretsuhin talaga.
Correct. Good thing you mentioned about the emotion of the song because the lyrics I think are very, very powerful.
They are
Yeah.
very
And I know more than of course the technique, you also try to give the lyrics justice as much as possible.
Of course, yes.
So I guess I want to know what your relationship with the lyrics of Gusto Ko Nang Bumitaw is in the sense na kailan mo siya huling kinanta na parang kinailangan mong humugot kasi baka masaya ka na eh, di ba? Ayaw mo na pumunta sa place na parang gusto mong bumitaw.
I think, well, first of all, I just also want to acknowledge na I am not the original singer of this song. This song is actually written by Ate Shireen Regis, who's the original, just
I
as a queen. Alam nyo naman, grabe din talaga.
Athlete, diba?
Diba?
No note is too high para sa
Of
kanya.
course, sobra. And so I remember nung binigay sa akin yung song to be for me to interpret for yung teleserye na Broken Marriage Vow. Yung habang inaaral ko yung kanta, yung parang mapapakapit ka na lang. Yung gano'n na parang, okay, so we're doing this. And then syempre, going into the session with Kuya Jonathan pa, who is also very known to really challenge his singers mo talaga. And I was challenged. Being in that studio na parang, Kuya Jonathan, really? We're gonna go up there pa talaga? Na parang, ang taas na nun. Pero I mean, I'm just very grateful na tinrust pa ako ni Kuya Jonathan, ng lahat ng producers nung show na yon to breathe life into this song. But every time I sing the song, it does take a lot of yun nga, emotional parang internalization. Kasi syempre, like you said, but you wanna be able to, kahit na syempre I was also, when I did the song, I was already just happily married. And so it didn't match up na parang gusto ko lang bumitaw pero kakasal mo lang. Yung parang okay ka lang ba? Pero I had to, syempre, and I do this with a lot of performances and a lot of songs na I don't necessarily feel sad in the moment. Humuhugot ako ng experience in the past. Or even if it's not exactly what I'm going through, parang ini-interpret ko siya in a way na is still very, very true to me. And so I think, honestly, I don't even remember the last time I sang Gusto Ko Nang Bumitaw. But I do remember na parang I needed to just take a step back.
Yeah.
Na parang, wag niyo muna akong kausapin. Ano ko muna to, i-embody ko to kasi I have sung this song very few times, but every time I always want to give 100%.
Yes.
And so I think in the last one, I was just, I was feeling it. Parang even si Dave, yung asawa ko, sabi ko, wag mo muna akong kausapin. Ako muna to. Saka ka na. Okay na tayo after. But this moment is, I think, for me to just literally ibitaw ko siya. Ibitaw ko lahat ng kung ano mang naramdaman kong, I guess, insecurity, pain, doubt. Ito na yun. This is my moment. So,
And I'm sure meron ding instances na parang hindi mo na masyadong kinailangan mag-effort na humugot kasi pwede kunyari nabwisit ka lang sa traffic that day.
doon na labas, diba?
Or puyat ka for that night. Like, you know what? I have the perfect song to release all this stress that I'm feeling right now.
Yes,
Diba?
legit. Yes po talaga.
But I love na I guess it also makes it even more special that you've only performed it a handful of times because every time you sing it, while it is going to be hard, there's also an added layer of this is extra special today.
Yes, for sure po talaga. And even my fans know na parang hindi na sila umaasa na kakantahin ko yung song na yan for certain events that have happened in the last couple of years. But when it's a big one, it's like, oh my gosh, this is not a normal day.
Correct.
Kakanta ka ng Gusto Na Bumitaw. Ganun pong level.
Correct. Parang ano siya, pag si Beyonce, nilalabas bigla si Kelly and Michelle sa mga concert. Parang ganun siya ka-special.
Yes.
It needs to be a very,
It
very
needs to
special
be
moment.
a moment talaga siya.
Correct.
Opo.
But you've also been working for, I guess, professionally or parang in the public eye for about 15 years now.
Yes, 15.
But of course, getting there, 'di ba? You had to work your butt off, not just you, but your parents, your family.
Everybody, opo.
Everybody. Kumbaga, you are the result of a lot of love, but also a lot of
I love that.
sacrifices.
Yes,
right?
yes, I
A
love
lot
that.
of sacrifices.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm curious to talk about basically parang the different moments that led you to finally, let's just for reference purposes, finally getting on The Voice because I think
Yes.
that was your biggest break.
Yes.
Yeah, diba?
I guess to backtrack it, so I am born and raised in Cebu. I've done a lot of singing competitions there. And then I think one of the major things, even before The Voice, and this is actually why it's 15 years for me because The Voice was 2013.
Yes.
That was 2013. Pero I started since 2010 because before ABS-CBN, I was actually with TV5.
Oh.
For 3 years, I joined. Yung unang show na sinalihan ko was Talentadong Pinoy. Nag-audition ako sa
classic,
Di ba?
diba?
Of course, an all-arounder, di ba? Talentadong Pinoy. I joined that. And I remember at that moment, I don't know why, if I may share, I remember being a little bit frustrated kasi yung mga songs na gusto kong kantahin, ayaw nilang ipakanta sa akin. Just because it was overused na rin on the show and on TV na parang ang dami nang kumanta. And so it ended ended up na I sang Empire State of Mind by Alicia Keys. New York, New York.
Correct.
And I just remember na yun yung napiling kanta because that was just on the radio, and I guess they wanted it to be let's make it more relevant rather than just singing the usual Contesera songs. I didn't make it through, and that was here na in Manila, and then I flew back to Cebu. Me and my mom, that was just kami muna in the beginning, and then biglang one of the judges of the show, si Tito Odi Himora, he had reached out to my parents and said na it's so unfortunate na hindi ako naka-move forward sa Talentadong Pinoy, but TV5 is brewing this new show and it's gonna be like an artista search, and it's called Star Factor, and I think I would be a fit and they think that I would be a fit for the show. So I went through the whole process again, audition ako, and fast forward to I finished first runner up on that show and was absorbed as an artist sa TV5. And so from 2010 to 2013, right before The Voice was out, I was basically an artist ng TV5, being a singer, and then eventually I also needed to take acting gigs na rin as well, because the singing parang very konti lang yung opportunities sa Cinco at that time for me to be able to share my voice, and so I need to venture out into that. And so there was actually so much pa that happened.
From 2010 to 2013. So
ang dami na
ang
po.
dami nangyari. Actually,
Opo.
good thing you brought that up. Because I think marami kang kailangan baguhin na, I guess, perspective kapag, okay, marami ka na napanood ng contest where you're from, diba, Cebu. Pero like, so parang all of a sudden, parang, okay, I think I have a good gauge of what my sound is,
Yes,
diba, the
yes.
things that I want to do, what I'm great at. But all of a sudden, parang you move to like a bigger pond to use some imagery here.
Opo.
And all of a sudden, a lot of people are telling you, no, we want you to be this way. We want you to be that way. How did you negotiate with these many voices around you when you already had data na parang, tama naman to ginagawa ko, pero why do they want me to zag when I know how to zig? Naalala mo ba how those negotiations kind of happened?
Actually po, well, in the beginning, and even up until now, I really just want to sing. Well, in the beginning, that was just my dream na gusto ko lang, I just want to be able to share my voice, I guess be known for my voice, have an original song, diba? That, I think, realization came after The Voice. Just because I really just wanted to be utilized for my voice, and I allowed for that to happen. I'm happy na ang daming opportunities na dumating even when I didn't win The Voice or I didn't win Star Factor. All of these singing competitions, hindi ako nanalo, but I'm just very grateful and very blessed na marami pa ring doors na nag-open for me. The realization about like the image and the sound came only after na parang, okay, so this is to consider na syempre ang dami talagang magaling na singers dito sa bansa natin. How do we stand out? So yun na yun na parang, okay, how can I make a very, I guess, distinct na this is me. And so I also just want to give credit to his name is Kiko Salazar, who is actually the songwriter of Akin Ka Na Lang, and siya po talaga yung tumulong sa akin to find that voice, and siya yung nag-stretch sa boses ko, whereas before it was like singing like my idols, diba? Singing like Whitney, Mariah, Regina, Ate Sarah, all of that. Just singing like them. But I really didn't have yung parang, sino ka ba talaga? That only came when I started to, after Akin Ka Na Lang, I worked very heavily with Kuya Kiko on my EP, with Star Music as well. And siya talaga yung nag-stretch ng range ko, na parang pinapatry niya ako nitong mga techniques na parang, hindi naman to usually, pero I was just super game. And I will always be thankful for Kuya Kiko for parang, I guess, putting a name to the abilities that I could do. Na siya talaga yung parang, kaya mo rin yan, kaya mo rin to. Parang sobrang kilala niya din yung boses ko. Nag-mold din talaga siya. And so, I'm happy na I went through all of that to be able to, I guess yun, like a lot of the sound that people have supported me with and loved me for is a lot of the work that Kuya Kiko has done with me. So I'm very grateful.
So, ang ganda rin that you mentioned na, you just really wanted to be able to sing and be utilized for your vocal prowess first, and then eventually the development of a sound, of an artistic stamp eventually came later, because I feel like that's kind of that's that's how artistry is, 'di ba? Parang first you show the world the skills that you have. You show the world how you are useful in
Yeah.
being able to have those skills that you have. And then eventually you have earned the right to develop a sound, a stamp.
Yeah.
So I think you're known for, yes, the belts, the crazy stamina. Minsan nanonood ako ng mga ASAP videos mo na parang 20 seconds na siyang hindi humihinga, isang phrase pa rin sa kanya yun. 'Di ba? May mga ganon. But of course, people know you for the whistle. Oh Holy Night.
Ay.
Girl, my God. I hope it's Christmas every day so that I get to hear that all the time. The whistle and of course the vocal scratch.
Yes,
Diba?
yes.
Yeah.
Yung squeak.
The squeak. So
Yes.
the vocal squeak. I think the whistle, parang, it's very remarkable, definitely. But I think nung narinig ko na talaga yung squeak, I was like, oh, this is very deliberate in including this in the presentation of the song that you are doing.
Apo.
Can you take me through lang like the conception of that squeak that people now know you for?
Ooh. So actually in the beginning, it wasn't a thing that I was actively doing talaga with my voice. But so it was my dad who really trained me to be the singer that I am. Siya yung like he's also a musician, so he's very meticulous when it comes to notes and like techniques and trying to copy what other singers sound. And so marami din siyang natulong po talaga with the foundation of my singing ngayon. But I remember, and this was even before The Voice, even before TV5 na, kasi yung ano ko po, yung training ko po dati is every after school, kahit 1 hour lang, kakanta lang ako ng kakanta. As in any play, may mga CD kami na yung mga videoke, karaoke, CDs, play dyan, kanta ka lang, anong mga bagay song hanggat sa ma-stretch, and then that's it. And then I do homework, whatever, after school. But, I think there was that one time na sabi ni Daddy, you know what? There's this song. And the very first song that really exposed me to the technique was Nina's version of Foolish Heart.
I mean, again, I think that was sign number 32 na nung ginagaya ko siya, parang siguro bakla ako, no? Oo. But yeah, I mean, but yes, that definitely is such a vivid sound if you think about it.
I remember, and nung time pa nga na to, hindi pa ako actually late bloomer na ako sa Mariah whistling and techniques na It was really Ate Nina and her version of Foolish Heart na parang grabe. And then like that whistle note, yung notes na yun particularly, kasi syempre like di ba sa piano.
Correct.
Nasa taas talaga, mataas talaga siya. And so I guess dinatry ko, nakakaya naman. It's like my dad had it in the back of his mind na parang,
Sorry,
okay.
I have to pause you.
No
The fact na sinabi mong, nakakaya naman, like nonchalantly, mataas, akala ko mataas, pero parang kaya naman pala.
Nakakaya naman nung inatem.
Okay.
Nung inatem, nakakaya naman. And so, parang, pero like hindi naman siya. Kasi also, there weren't a lot of songs that required to do that.
Because it's an incredibly hard thing to
Kasi
execute.
mahirap nga siya din. And so, hindi ko siya talaga like sobrang tinutukan for, at least when I was doing TV5, hindi ko talaga siya na-touch. It wasn't until, I guess, after The Voice na I also don't know how itong si Kuya Kiko, I don't know how he realized na I could whistle also. But my dad was very active also on social media.
Yeah.
Basically, every time I perform even sa mga singing contest, ina-upload na niya agad yun sa YouTube. And so siguro nakita ni Kuya Kiko yun. And so I remember when he told me na when he was writing Akin Ka Na Lang, having me in mind na parang sana si Morissette ang mag-interpret nitong song na to for Himig Handog. Yung range ng boses ko na-tap niya lahat, including the whistle.
Yeah.
And so, but I guess it was also opportunity sa ASAP na yun nga, syempre, ang dami naming singers dun. How can I stand out? And I guess the very first time or opportunity that I did, I think the very first time that I did the whistle on TV and on ASAP was, I sang Beyonce's, ano nga to yung, I wanted you bad, that one.
Best Thing I Never Had. Such a
That
criminally underrated song from
I
the
love
album
that song.
4.
I love that
especially
song.
the bridge.
Diba? And just like, basta ang daming ginagawa ni Mother Queen Bee dyan. Na when that song was assigned to me, sabi ko, you know what? I need to do something. I need to do something pa. And so I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was the very first time na sabi ko, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. May time pa naman na bago darating yung next singer, may portion, ito na, ibabuelo ko na. nagawa na. So like, ayun na, oh my gosh, she's known for that. And then biglang sunod-sunod na parang every opportunity that I had,
Ayan,
I
tuloy.
had to, honestly, there's no one else to blame. It's just me. Kasi gawa ko ng whistle, ayan na tuloy. And so I'm just very, very happy that people have, I mean, I'm not the first, diba? I'm not naman the first to do the whistling. As I said, diba, si Ate Nina has done it many countless times. And I think even sila Ate Kyla even, and Ate Jonna as well, like able to reach those whistle notes. But as for the squeak naman, yung parang, yun, yung parang scratch siya, that one I only found later.
Oh.
Nauna yung whistle, and then when I guess I was also just trying to do more research and how else I could hone my voice. I think it was when Kuya Kiko was telling me to study, like just study Mariah naman. Study Mariah. And so, because that was also the sound that he of course he loves Mariah. So as we do,
Yes.
diba? Like everybody. And so he was asking me to study Mariah because that was also the genre that he was going for the EP that I was working on. And I noticed na ginagawa din pala ni Mariah yun.
Yeah.
And so when I was trying it, I was like, oh, it's a placement. Sorry, I'm gonna get technical, but
No,
it's like
please go ahead. Yeah.
it's a placement na nadadaanan ko going into the whistle. Pero nasa stop ko siya. And so sabi ko, okay, pwede pala. And then I realized na Jessie J does the same thing. Demi Lovato does the same thing.
Mukha naman vocalist. Pero I mean, I do get your point. I do get your point.
Like, they do that. They have that element din sa boses nila na nakakaya din nilang ganunin. It's like, oh, sige, gawin na rin natin. Sige. And so, I guess I've just done it enough na people have associated me with the vocal technique. And I'm grateful and I'm happy that it has come to that.
I love it. Pero I mean, I guess
process
we
siya.
get into yung making it your stamp nga. So every time that you know na, okay, I have two things na medyo pasabog at paandar with the whistle and the scratch. How do you pick and choose when to put that? Kasi parang how do you make sure na it's always earned and that it's not, ginagawa na naman niya to impress?
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.